We are live. Hi, Armetta. Armetta is joining us from Oklahoma. Welcome. It is so good to see you. Today, what we're going to be doing is we are going to be doing our normal edge to edge design, and we are going to be doing it with the Starry Night number 5. So that leaves us just 2 more Starry Nights to complete before we have our Edge to Edge series finished. It went so quickly. Hi, Joey. Good to see you. And Jean's here from Mount Vernon. Linda, my Michigander friend, is here as well. I hope you're enjoying the beautiful weather that we have too, Linda. Yeah, it's finally time to get outside. And Ronnie is here from Northeastern Arizona. Welcome, Ronnie. Good to see you as always. So, Pam from Maine is here. A quick hi from Debbie down in Arizona. Deb, you want to stick around for just a minute, I hope. I'm so sorry you're under the weather. A lot of echoing. Is Ronnie the only one getting a lot of echoing, or is everyone? I'm using the same microphone that I always do. So if you guys could let us know, that'd be great. If I have to turn it off and turn it back on, I can do that. Jackie's here from Alberta and Carolyn from Kentucky. Welcome. Elizabeth's here. She has no echo. That is a good thing. And Joey says hers is okay. And Ronnie said it's better now. Okay, good. Carolyn said I sound great. Well, as good as I can sound, right? Okay, so I don't know if you guys remember me telling you, hi, Elizabeth, how are you? Welcome. And Julie's here too from Iron Mountain. Welcome, Julie. So, what I was going to start saying is a couple weeks ago, I told you guys that I had something we were going to talk about, and it has to do with what our future holds for us. Okay. I will be doing every other week on Mondays from this point forward. Okay. So I will be doing the second and fourth Mondays, and I'm not really sure what I'm going to take off with them. I'm thinking of doing Donna McCulley's collection of templates. I'm really not sure yet. However, with that in mind, it does not mean that you will be without ruler work on Mondays that I'm not here because Donnell will be doing odd numbered Monday um, lives. So that's going to start next Monday. And that would be June 2nd. So you will definitely not be losing out on having lives. It's just going to be 2 people doing them instead of 1. So I wanted to let you all know that. Okay. Elizabeth is here from Western Massachusetts. Oh, I already said hello, didn't I, Elizabeth? I'm sorry. Kelly's here from California. Charlene is here from Colorado. And one of my friends is here from across town. So now that we've gotten the business part of this taken care of, let's go ahead and take a look at what we're going to make tonight. Okay. Well, Chris, hello. Are you back home? And was it a wonderful wedding? Chris was off with family this weekend to a wedding. Awesome. 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 So what we've got here is we've got Starry Night number 5. We only have 7 Starry Night designs. So we're going to be doing the Starry Night 6 on Monday, June 9th, and Starry Night 7 on Monday, June 23rd. Yeah, Debbie, I do hope you feel better too. Get some rest. Talk to you soon. Take care of yourself. You're important to me, okay? That's important. And it is so very important to let people know that you care about them and that they are an important part of your life because, well, I think it just needs to be said. Okay. So what we're looking at here is we are going to look at one, two, three different stars, the full moon, and this is going to be the star tail 2. Now I've got a couple different templates out. I've got our edge to edge to connect these. I also brought out my sampler set because we can use several of the templates in there as well. I want you guys to remember. Thanks, Deb. Just get better, okay? I want you guys to remember. I and this is just something I do, and I hope that you find it valuable to do yourself. Is to always keep that starter sampler set handy because you just never know when it's going to pop up and serve a purpose that you find important. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and take this away. I do have a different machine tonight. Working on a project and needed decorative stitches, which I don't have on my 301. So, whoops, I am so sorry, guys. So I opted to use this machine instead. I think I need to move this up a little higher and then adjust the camera down. There we go. Okay, these things are always tricky. And I'm never quite sure if I'm getting it or not right away. Sometimes it takes me a few minutes. Hi, Kelly. So glad you've been able to make it. Okay, so the first star we're going to start with tonight is not going to be the one that I just dropped on the floor, okay? It is going to be this guy right here, okay? And that is going to be star number 1. Now, the reason I really like this star is because it looks like a little person, you know, arms, legs, head, or maybe it's Bob. Oh, what's the guy from SpongeBob SquarePants? Patrick, I think it is, who looks like he's got the kind of that shape. And we're going to get the biggest one we've got here. Remember, guys, you can make this design or any design that we have in the edge to edge designs. You can make any of them as large or as small as you want, but you have to have a ruler foot on. Oh, can you tell that I have just been disheveled today? I really have. Okay, it was our first really nice day. Tried to get in the garden and do a few things, and wow, it's just one of those days. So out we go with that one, and in we're gonna come with our ruler foot. If you, oh, I'm getting the wrong one. If you have a 301, I don't know if So Steady has been able to find a new supplier for the ruler foot or not. Well, I have my decorative thread foot here. And I know exactly where it is. We're going to call this Disheveled Monday instead of Edge Monday today. Oh, good grief, hey? Okay, now. The one thing I do like about the 301 as opposed to most of these other machines, including the new machines, is that I have so much ability, so much more space to see, and so much more space for my big old sausage hands to fit into. So, yeah, I really do very much like the 301. I'm going to go ahead and put this down. I'm going to start to adjust my height. Now, this is something I think is worth talking about because I usually have my machine ready before we get started. But I have this particular machine is a Juki, and I love it. I absolutely love my Juki. But there's a couple of things that we need to do to go ahead and adjust the foot height. So what you've seen me do here first is just go ahead and put the foot on. I got the foot on. And I think I got it on. Yep, there we go. So once I get my foot on, then what I need to do is go into, and I'm going to show you right here, I hope. Right here it says presser foot pressure. What that does is it moves the foot up and down. So I give my initial adjustment just simply by putting the foot on the machine. But you could see it's still a little too high. So now what I need to do is just dial it down some. And if I dial it too far down, it's going to start snowballing. So I want it to just kiss the very top of this fabric. I'm just going to loosen it again because I think I didn't get it in there quite right. Oh gosh. There we go. Okay, there we go. Pick it up, let it fall. And when it does that, it most likely is going to find its own height. On this one, it doesn't seem to want to do that. This is the only machine that I have that acts this way. Kind of like a spoiled child, right? And now, which way am I going? Am I going up or down? I'm going up. Okay. I never remember which way I'm going. Of course, that's pretty normal. Okay, so here's my big Starry Night Star 1. And what you can see that I did here was I went ahead and put the crosshair on here because I really, really like having that crosshair on there, guys. It helps me so much when when I'm placing things. Then what I did was I just went ahead in here and put little X's in the general vicinity of where I was going to put my different components. This is the one we're going to start with right here. How are we doing? Okay. Go ahead and pick this up. The one thing I do like about this machine is I can use either the electronic button or I can manually pick up and raise and lower that foot. All righty. I'm going to go ahead and I am going to, yep, there we go. Want to make sure. Pull that bobbin thread up. And to put my foot down. There we go. Put my needle down, and there we go. Now remember, when we're working with these templates, you want to slow down around these curves. Take that one stitch in place. Nice and easy. Hesitate just 1 second there in each of those star points. You don't need to hesitate long. Just hesitate for a second. Come all the way around. This is our last star point. And up to the beginning. Now you have 2 ways that you can do this. All right. Road Boss is here. Hi from Kentucky. Welcome. So happy that you've made it. So one of the things you could do is, of course, we're going to go ahead and we're going to pick our foot up and we're going to take our template off. So what we can do here is we can break thread, come over to our next component and put the star in, which is this guy right here. Okay, let me get my, there it is. So we would be moving this over so you can see from here over to here or here up to here. We can do that either of those ways. Okay. First off, I think I'd go to the right simply because I'm in the right spot for it. Otherwise, I'd break thread and come down here to that bottom left star point. So I'm not going to break thread here. I'm just going to go ahead and get one of my edge to edge, and I'm going to connect the star that I've already put in to the next motif that we have here. Okay, I'm just going to move that over here. All right, surprise, I'm dropping things. What a shock. And here is my edge to edge. I'm going to go ahead and get that out. And this is the advantage that I have to marking these. I know approximately how far I need to go. And I know approximately how far up or down. And this star here is going to end up being approximately, and yeah, I'm saying approximately a lot. I know I am. But it's important that you understand you do not have to do this spot on exactly like the book. Okay. You don't even have to do it spot on between each design because as long as they're close enough, it's going to read as one design. So you're going to be good in that respect. Okay, I think here's my other little axe. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do very much like the book actually shows it. I'm going to make this really curl. It looks almost like a half circle, and we're going to come back down. Now, my axe is not going to be where I want it to be once I get this connector in. That's okay. I'm fine with that. I really am. So I want to come up and back down. So let's go ahead, take that first stitch in place, and I do that so we don't have a lot of toe catchers. I'm going to move these other templates out of the off of my table so they don't end up on the floor, because you all know that I do have a propensity to drop things. It's just it's a really developed skill that I have. Okay, who's laughing? You all should be laughing at that one. It's just kidding. Okay, so up and around we've come. So our next star, and let's get that out. That is going to be our star number. And let me find my, where did I put my stars, guys? I need to have somebody keep me focused here today. Okay. Oh, Mona did what? Hi. I love your name, Mona did what? I think that is just the coolest thing ever. I absolutely love it. Okay, so we're going to now use star number 4. And it just dawned on me. This should actually not be star number 4. It should be star number 6. It's okay. We don't have any police that are going to come after us and say, you used the wrong star. So it's all right. And maybe you don't have that star, right? So we're not going to use the real smallest here, but we're going to use the 1.5 inch on this one. So I'm going to go ahead and put this back over here. Are you guys getting sick of seeing me do that? Okay. Oh, Kelly, the name of the book. Okay, this is the Edge to Edge lookbook. And this is what it looks like. There we go. Now, if you don't have the embroidery set and you want a copy of the lookbook, it is available to you. You just need to go to sewstay.com and look under EmbroideLee. And when you go pick the Edge to Edge Collection 1, you will get into it and it will allow you to purchase the book already printed for $5, or you can download the book free of charge. So you will have all of these designs in here. There's also a lot of pictures as to how they've been used. So please feel free to go get that book, Kelly. And as I said, $5 for the printed version, or the download version is free. And that's for any of our lookbooks. It's not just for this one, any of our lookbooks. What the lookbooks are wonderful about is to show us different ways that we can use our templates. So they're kind of like patterns, but they're not exactly patterns in that we don't need to replicate them perfectly, as evidenced by my Monday nights, right? Um, just it offers us some suggestions that maybe we haven't thought of before. Okay. I think they're valuable. I really do. And I think that it is fabulous that So Steady offers them free of charge if we wish to download them. I hope that answers your question, Kelly. Judy's made it in from Greenleaf, Wisconsin. Hi, Judy. Nice to see you. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put my next star on. And this particular star is basically almost straight up and down, but not exactly. I'm going to cant it a little to the right on the bottom and take off my shoe. There's my one stitch in place and off we're going to go. Remember, this is the 1.5 inch. And this one has small star points on it. I found when we first started using these templates that I like to keep my stitch lengths just a little smaller on them. I also found stitching them slowly really helped me to get a much nicer looking star. I just came off of it there. It's going to show, but you know what? It's really not going to show enough that I'm going to worry too much about it because there is a whole lot going on here. Now, what I need to do, I did it again, guys. Can you believe it? So what I need to do now is I need to get down to this star to keep moving on. I have two choices here. If I come back over this one, what's going to happen is my lines of stitching are not going to be on top of each other, which is a bad thing, right? Actually, no. I'm looking at it as an opportunity. What I will do is stitch back over here the way it's intended to be stitched. Then I can go ahead and tear out all these kind of offbeat stitches. So here we go. I'm going to go to the right instead of to the left. Would the left be easier than the right? Yeah, actually it would. But you know what? I want to clean that design up. So that's why I'm going to go to the right. And this is where we're going to stop for um, our next connector. You'll see that really all I need to pull out are these few stitches here. Okay, the next thing I'm going to tell you, I will probably deny I said it. Okay, so I'm giving you forewarning. Sharpie markers work wonders. I'm serious, guys. You know how many times I've had to use a Sharpie marker? Okay. It's really just when I'm practicing and I want something to look nice. But Sharpie markers work wonders. They really, really do. Kelly, I'm so glad I was able to answer your question. That's awesome. Definitely want to be here for that. Okay, so where we are at now, whoops, let's get her back in here. Now we're going to pull out a star 6. That's going to be this guy. Now, what you're going to notice is that this is the end of the line. This does not connect here. However, if we wanted to connect, we're not going to connect here. We're going to connect over here and we're going to put it up with the moon. If you wanted to, you could easily connect from this star here over to this star as well. So, you know, it comes down to personal preference a lot of times. And don't be afraid to experiment, okay? Just because we do things one way doesn't mean you can do them only our way. You have lots of opportunities to do them many different ways. Now I'm going to use the 1.5 inch on this one as well. And that's going to be this one right here. But first we need to connect them. So what I'm going to use, I'm basically going to use the same guy I used last time because it's the same shape that we want to get. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to twist it because we don't want to end up down here. We want to end up right in here. And yeah, that's good. Actually, we do want to go down a way. Right here is the one that I'm looking at. Whoops, right there. So we do want to come down a way. You know what that looks like? It looks like a perfect 3-inch clamshell. So let's take out our 3-inch clamshell. Remember I said it's really a good idea to keep that starter sampler set handy? This is why I keep it handy, guys. And there it is. Boy, these things, mine are so beat up. It's not even funny. And this is going to be a little too big, but you know what? I'm going to just go ahead and I'm going to modify it a little bit. Or, no, I think this is too small. This is kind of bigger than I want it, and this is 3 inches. So if I want to make it a little smaller, what I'm going to take is my 2-inch simple circle. And let's see how that looks. Again, this sampler set is really a lifesaver at times. Actually, guys, I really like that. I think that's going to be perfect. Okay, so what I want to do is I just want to go ahead and make a part of my circle. Keeping those stitches just a little bit smaller, and I'm going to stop here. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take this off, and you'll see I got a wobble in it. I'm okay with that. I really am. This is practice. So when you're practicing, that's when you want the wobbles and the wiggles. You don't want them once you've... Okay, guys. Just had it. Okay. Let's see where I might have put that template. Okay. Let's see it there. Mm-hmm. Okay, I don't know exactly where I put it, so we're just going to use a different one. I'm going to go ahead and I am going to use my 1 inch. I know the 1.5 is going to show up. Yeah, it is. It's right on top of my machine where I put it, so I wouldn't lose it. Oh, yo, yo. Somebody want to come over here and slap me upside the head here? Okay, and we're going to come in. I'm going to turn this around so you've got a good view. We're going to come in from the bottom here, and I'm going to make it rather straight, actually. Now, I've got to turn my template over. Remember when I tell you that if your template is symmetrical, you don't need staple tape on both sides. And this particular star is symmetrical, so I don't need staple tape on both sides. But what we want to be sure of is that when we use the template, we have the staple tape on the fabric. And you know what? That's a real easy thing to do. Now they're going to go. And we're going to come back to our beginning. And there we are. I think that looks really, really good. This is exactly what we want it to look like at this point. What do you think? I like this 2-inch simple circle in here. I think that really helped it. Okay, let's see if we've got anybody new in or any comments or questions. Okay. Let's come back. This is, remember, this is the orientation that we're in. So the next thing we want to do is come from this star up over to this star, you see my little X mark there, and that is going to be, well, it's supposed to be a different one. We're using star 4. And for this particular one, I want the star 4 bigger than this. That was the 1.5 inch, I do believe. So we're going to use the 2 inch. And we're going to put it up in this orientation. But first, we have to decide where we're going to join the foot. Now, if you lay it out, and a lot of people do like to lay their things out, what you might want to do is it is going to meet up right here. So you may put just a little mark right here. And where that mark is, if you'll notice, it's not on the template. It's 1/4 inch up and 1/4 inch on either side, approximately. It's not ironclad, okay? Approximately is good enough, unless, of course, you're working within a confined space, but we're not here, so it's okay. So this is where I want to stop my connector. I'm going to go ahead and put my template. Okay, so when I say I can't find my template, somebody please tell me it's on the top of my sewing machine, okay? I appreciate the help. Okay, so here what we're going to do is we're going to have another one of these shapes. It's going to be a nice rounded shape. So let's use the star connect or the edge to edge connector 1, and I'm going to use the letter C. It seems to be one that I use quite often. I'm just very fond of it. I love the curve that it gives. I don't even need it there for this. I'm going to go ahead and pick up my bobbin thread. Now, if this were other than a practice panel or a practice square, I would go ahead and stitch these tails in. But I'm not going to do that because it's just a practice square. Okay, so here I go. And again, I'm going to come approximately. And what's really cool about these templates is that we've got lines. I don't know if you can see them real well or not. Let's see. There we go. We've got these lines right here and this line right here. So where they intersect, of course, we don't see it, but we're good enough with our eyes to say, yeah, that line's going about right through there. This line is coming down through here. And this is where those 3 lines are going to meet, approximately. Okay. I know I keep saying that same word, approximately. And that's because I don't want you to think that you have to have everything exactly perfect. Life is not perfect, and our designs don't have to be absolutely perfect. If we were doing this with templates on a whole quilt, you would drive yourself bonkers trying to get everything placed perfectly. Don't put that kind of pressure on yourself. When it's all done, it's going to look gorgeous. And it will look consistent. Now, for example, with this one, what I would do is I would go ahead and keep using the wrong template because I wanted to remain consistent. If you're consistently inconsistent, it's going to show. If you're consistent, okay, so let me say this again. If you're consistently inconsistent, nobody's going to pick up on it. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay. So now, I guess I remembered where I put my template. Aren't you all proud of me? Oh, tell ya, some days, hey? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to slip that back in, and I'm going to make my rotation, and I'm going to come back and end up here because that's the direction we're going to take off in to get to our next template. Okay? And here we go. Nice and steady. Hug the template. Don't push on the foot to push it against the template, and don't push the template against the foot. That was one of the things that I had to consistently remind myself. Don't push the template, because if you do, you're going to go off the template somewhere. And it's just so much easier to take it nice and easy, go slow, and get it right the first time. I am not a fan of ripping stitches. So yeah, I want to try and get it close as I can the first time. And you'll look, I never moved anything, and it's covering up, it's traveling beautifully. One more star point here. I'm going to end right here. There we go. And now I'm going to get my connector out again. Turned out beautiful, didn't it? See, it's really easy to do. It just takes practice. Everything we do in life takes practice, I'm afraid. Okay, let's take a look at what's next. Next, we're going to use the number 6 star. That's going to be a good size one. Whoops, I'm not. There we go. So we're going to be here next. So I'm going to go ahead and get my number 6 star out. And I think for this one, I'm going to do my 2-inch. Okay, there is my 2-inch, I think. Yep, that's my 2-inch. I'll put the other ones back in the bag. I try to keep my area cleaned up as best as possible while I'm working. Doesn't always work out that way, but we can try. Chris, I have Chris totally fooled. She thinks my sewing room is clean all the time. Come over now, Chris. You'll see what it is normally a state of chaos, and that's where it's at tonight, I'm going to tell you. Okay, so we're going to come up here. I've got to move you over so you can see again. There we go. It's easier when I have two cameras working. Okay, so now let's take a look at that connector first. All right. So this is where we want to go, from here to here. That's a rather short distance, but it's deep. It's a rather deep distance. And it reminds me very much of this. And we used, I believe, the 2-inch simple circle on this one. So let's go ahead and use it on this as well. And that's going to be in our starter sampler set. That was easy because I just had it out. Okay, we're going to go ahead and put it on. Quite honestly, you don't need the gate in if you have a gate. I just keep the gate on so that I don't lose track of it or my the gate or my tape. Okay. So what we want to do is we want to come up and around on this guy here. And you'll see that actually I have this X way up over here, not even close to where I need it to be. So this is where flexibility counts, guys. You have to be able to be flexible. So I'm going to come up and I'm going to stop right there because where I want to be is actually up from this particular star here. And come down here a little ways. Again, I'm telling myself, don't push. Don't push on the template. Don't push on the foot. Okay. Now, there's one other thing I've got to tell you. I have to admit to, guys. If I look away, I come off the template, which I did right there. Okay, now this is going to make it a little, we need to start on one side here and end on another, because that's where we're going to put our star tail in. Okay. You guys are really quiet tonight. Let's start here and here. You know what? This is too big. I got to get a smaller one. I'm sorry. It just isn't going to work. But that's okay. That's how we figure things out. There's my 1.5 inch. Let's try that and see how that looks, okay? Oh, yeah, that's much better. Okay, so remember, start here and here. Let's go ahead and readjust that camera for you. Around we're going to go. All the way up. This is our last star point, but we need to travel, right? So we're going to come down. And we're going to come over to the opposite star point and we're going to stop with our needle down. Beautiful. Made it really nice and easy there. Now we are going to take our star tails. And what we're going to do with these star tails is we're going to go right from one onto the other. And we're going to make these a little more on the small side, only because I've got things just a little bit too big here. But it's okay. So we're going to come up and around. We're going to start here, but we're going to end up here, okay? Can you see well enough? Yep, there we go, okay. Now these are asymmetrical designs, so you'll probably note that I have staple tape on both sides of this template. And with the Starry Night quilt, you will be using both sides of it. And up we go, and we're going to stop right here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it out. Look at how beautiful that is. And we're going to reverse it twice. We're going to flip it and we're going to flip it on the short end and the long end. Okay, there we go. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to put the skinny points together. I'm going to come this way so you can see me better. Now remember, we want to put a full moon in here and we want it to be rather large. So it has, and there is a connector there. So I'm going to go ahead and bring this guy up just a little bit so we can connect him coming down and in this spot. Yeah, start here, finish here. And you know what? It does not matter which side you go on. It really doesn't. What I like to do is pick the side I stitched out nicer. And I think for me, it's going to be the one on the right. So what that says is I'm not going to come this way. I'm going to come back this way. And you can do that. It's really easy to do. The biggest key, the biggest takeaway I want you guys to have on this is don't move that template until you are for sure finished quilting, whether you need to travel along it or anything else, okay? You always may need to use it just one more time. And it's a good idea to be sure you're done before you take it off. All right, we've got one more connection to make, guys. And that is going to be to come here and make the big moon right here. So we don't need a whole lot of space here. So let's go ahead and get our connectors. And this one is a little on the flat side, which reminds me of this space here. So what's nice about the connectors is you don't always have to use these inside cutouts. You can also use the outside like on this one. And that's what we're going to do on this one. We're just going to come here and we're going to make this rather flat. That's the one I want right there. We don't want to go too far because we want to have a bigger circle here for the full moon. And that's as far as we really need to go. And now I need to get that full moon out. Let's see which size is going to fit the best. Okay, so if we put our 2.5 in, what's going to happen? It's going to cut off this star down here. So we don't want the 2.5 inch in. But let's take a look at the 2 inch and see where that one's going to come out. Well, that one actually comes out in a really great spot. Now, the thing is we can tilt it so that it comes on the inside a little bit and gets like halfway, which is going to be like right here. It gets actually halfway above that star. And if we look here, that's exactly what it does. Okay? So what we're looking at is that this connector comes to the bottom of the star. We didn't come down that far, but guess what? We still can if we want to, and we can do it with our template. So we've come down a little bit there. Now I'm going to finish coming in. Oh my gosh, guys, I'm so sorry. There we go. I'm going to finish coming in. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to move that template. You see how it came around? Now I'm going to go ahead and move it so that it's inside of that connection. And around we're going to go. We cleared that star tail. I knew we would. I wasn't concerned about it. And we're going to close up that full moon. Now, if you had wanted this to be, and I'm going to leave it there because what I want to show you is how you can get this whole thing more rounded. And that's by taking the next largest size of the full moon. I'm going to take my spacing gauge. I'm going to give it a 1/4 inch to this star tail. And now watch what happens. This is like magic, guys. Okay, I've got to move my hand here. Now what we can do is just go ahead, pull those stitches out, which I'll do because we have time. And you'll see how beautifully round those stitches come out. Okay. And this is why we practice. Okay, just pick a few on top, every 3 or 4 stitches. Sometimes I go smaller. It depends on how tightly I've quilted, how my stitches look. If they're pretty small, I'll only take like every other, maybe every 3rd one out. Okay, oh. Then I go to the back and grab that bobbin thread and just pull it up just like that. And that brings almost all of those stitches out. I always have 1 or 2 left in here. It's not a big deal. There we go. Now you can see how beautifully round that is and how it connected to the full moon. That is a beautiful design. Very nice. Now, if you want to meet back up over on this guy here, what you're going to look at, and let me grab my pencil here. Whoops. Drop the seam ripper. Fortunately, not on my bare feet. That's always a blessing. Okay, where did my pencil go here? I know I had it here. Oh, goodness gracious. Did I put it away? No, it's on the floor. Okay, there we go. Okay, so to connect the 2 designs, what you're going to do is you're going to come out from this guy here, like this. And then you're going to, you see how we've got this here? This is going to be just like this. Here is the star. Oh, not a very good drawing of the star either, is it? But it gives you an idea. So that is how we're going to do it. And then this line comes down and hooks up this star to it. So that's how we're going to meld the design into a full edge by edge, edge to edge. We're going to come back here, up, make connected to the full moon that's over here, just like that. I hope that gives you guys some ideas. I want to, that is what I've got for you tonight. Okay. But what I want to do is tell you how much I appreciate you being here, taking time out of your day to spend it with me. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share. If you have any questions, comments, or anything like that, you can always get a hold of me by going to sewsteady.com, and under the instructors page, you will see me listed, and all of my contact information is on that page. So, oh, Elizabeth's going to put it on a baby quilt. Awesome. That'll be beautiful. Armetta, thank you so much. Um, anyway, what I was saying is I will not be here next Monday, but I will be here the Monday after. We will be finished with our edge to edge at the end of June. So from going forward, I will only be here every other Monday. If there's something special that you want me to do for you, please let me know. I try to, definitely will try to do that for you. I hope that you enjoy this as much as I do. It really means the world to me to have you guys come in here 3 times a week. Yeah, I do this 3 times a week. And tomorrow evening, we are going to work on Between the Lines. And that's going to be again at 6 o'clock Central Time, 7 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Mountain, 4 o'clock Pacific. And then on Wednesday morning, at 6 o'clock Pacific, 7 o'clock Mountain, 8 o'clock Central Time, and 9 o'clock Eastern Time, we will be working on Spin Effects 10. Looking forward to that. Totally looking forward to that. So that's what we've got coming up, guys. I appreciate you being here. I really do. And until we meet again, let's quilt.